two of the more rather unhinged members of Trump's inner circle who used to fight with one another are now strange bedfellows. And I'm talking about Laura Loomer and Elon Musk. Please put up the series of tweets that happened overnight. All right, so Laura Loomer is losing her mind because she says there's a White House vetting crisis, and it's continuing as Trump appointed U.S. Treasury secretaries pro-impeachment Trump hater to collaborate with him at the Treasury Department. So Scott Bessent has invited somebody who wanted Trump kicked off of Twitter and wanted him impeached, which is a pretty normal thing that you would think anybody who observed his behavior would think was appropriate. Elon Musk retweets Laura Loomer and puts troubling. And so you might remember a couple of months ago, Laura Loomer was calling Elon Musk a welfare queen, and she was just as jealous as all get out that Musk had such unprecedented access to Trump. Well, I think that Trump has started to push out Musk. The reports are all over the place that everybody hates him and that Musk tried to get in the Pentagon, and Trump, this is direct quote, "What the fuck is Elon doing there?" Well, now these two Trump MAGA rejects are finding themselves outside of the inner circle, and now they're collaborating together on Twitter. And this would be hysterical and so fun, but we're talking about our government. We're talking about the United States of America, and we elected a convicted felon who hangs out with these flea bags, total bottom feeders like Laura Loomer and Elon Musk, and they are so bad that even the psychopaths that remain inside the Trump administration have cast them aside. But we have to always remember, Musk has that $300 million investment, and Trump seems to be towing the line with that a little bit. But I do think we're at the second stage of starting to see the Trump Musk relationship implode, and we're going to get little drops over and over and over on this. Okay. Something very important happened. So the Maryland senator has been relentless about checking on the welfare of Mr. Garcia, who is a hostage and who was kidnapped by the United States government and sent to a concentration camp in El Salvador. The dictator of El Salvador and Trump acted like total psychopaths in the Oval Office and acted like there was nothing they could do about it. But our voices matter, and our outrage matters, and telling everybody that you give a damn and that you care and that we are not going to cede any rights, and that admitted errors by the Trump administration, they admitted that they erroneously deported him, that is not okay with us, that everybody needs due process. And it mattered because the dictator of El Salvador put up this. Bukele, and this is just what a prick this guy is, Kilmar Garcia, miraculously risen from the death camps and, quote, torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. What's important there to see is below you see the images that Garcia is alive, because I myself was curious, why aren't they allowing the senator to see him? But the senator stayed, he remained, and our voices are penetrating. The Supreme Court decision is still there hovering, and we cannot cede. They're putting out all of this propaganda regarding Garcia, and that brings me to my next point here. Hassan Piker, please put up this tweet. Hassan Piker has pointed out, Charlie Kirk tweeted, "You guys really love fighting for wife-beating illegal alien gang members. This is a lie. This is the right-wing media propaganda." And Hassan takes Charlie Kirk toe-to-toe and says, number one, his wife is demanding his return and said they amicably resolved their marital issues years ago. Number two, this is your administration's Secretary of Defense. He contributed more to society, so that now we're back talking about Garcia. Garcia contributed more to society as a smart TD union apprentice in one workday than you will ever in a lifetime. Pete Hegseth settled a sexual assault accusation for $50,000. Pete Hegseth is an untreated alcoholic, and these criminals in the Trump regime want to disparage a man who did manual labor, who joined a union, who, yeah, he had marital problems. Who the fuck hasn't? But these hypocrites that apply rules to everybody else, with the exception of people inside the Trump administration. Here's what's so maddening about talking about all of this right now is you hear the right saying, oh, he's a criminal. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. I want to be like, so is the fucking president of the United States. It's just this barrage of gaslighting and hypocrisy and double standards that's exhausting for all of us to follow, for all of us to talk about. But we have no choice. We cannot turn a blind eye to this and let these egregious human rights violations go unchecked. We have to fight for everything that still remains, because they will keep moving the goalposts and keep moving the goalposts until there's no more fuckery to be had. All right, next up, we have, of course, the MAGA Republicans who talk about children all the time, who think that drag queens and trans people are the biggest threat to kids because they love the kids so much. MAGA Republicans, all the women with their, Christian crosses, it's just everything's about the children. It's bullshit. It's always been bullshit. Put up this headline. Trump's next budget cuts take aim at poor toddlers. And this is absolutely heartless. In the Department of Health and Human Services next budget, Trump plans to eliminate Head Start. Head Start is the long-running initiative that provides toddlers from low-income families with education and health services. Call me crazy, but if you're a big religious person, so overtly Christian that you have to wear a Christian cross everywhere you go and speak about how important your faith is and how your faith guides your life, taking away money from the poorest kids in this country is about as evil and diabolical as it gets. But this is MAGA. This is who they are. They have convinced the rich white people that the immigrants, the drag queens, the black people, the trans people, and the gay people are dicking them over. Meanwhile, the people who are truly dicking them over are these billionaire white guys. They don't want poor people. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. They don't want gay people. They don't want black people getting any form of assistance or help. Meanwhile, they don't want to pay taxes. They want to dodge every form of accountability that they possibly can. And the hypocrisy is as dangerous as it is breathtaking, which brings me to conservative columnist David Brooks is calling for a national uprising. Put this up. Conservative New York Times columnist David Brooks calls for a national civic uprising to defeat Trumpism, complete with mass rallies and strikes. So a lot of people ask us all the time, what can you do? I don't know what we can do, but I know that we have to stay engaged in comment sections, stay engaged on social media, promoting people that are pro-democracy voices, retweeting that article, get online, see if there are any local protests. Don't shop at Target. Try to not shop at Amazon. Try your best to make a voice for yourself and for this country and find a sense of community. I also think it's time to have very difficult conversations with people in our lives that we know voted for Trump or are Trump apologists, confronting them. If you know any Christians that say that they are, their faith is so important to them, talk to them about the Trump administration taking away aid for poor toddlers. While Elon Musk doesn't pay federal taxes, while Trump doesn't pay federal taxes. Have these conversations and try to just at least penetrate the people in our personal lives, that this is a 911 where nobody wins except for the 0.00001% psychopathic billionaires. I believe that David Brooks is 100% correct, and it's rare that I agree with a conservative. But this is where we used to be able to have political conversations. I could disagree with a conservative because we were talking about politics. What we're talking about right now is morality and human decency. This is beyond politics. So everybody needs to talk and have conversations with fellow Americans that triple trumped and stand up for your life, stand up for your children's lives, stand up for your country, because this is moving at a rate that is abhorrent to see. The human rights violations are disgusting, and keeping up with the gaslighting is downright abusive. And that's why it's important to stay engaged with channels like ours and the Midas Touch and Brian Tyler Cohen and Don Lemon and others, so you know that you're not a crazy person and that they are the liars and that they are the gaslighters. I'm going to leave you with something that I thought was just about as rich as shit. Here we have Paula White, who is Trump's tongue-talking, grifter, con woman extraordinaire, faith advisor, sitting down with war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu. Play the clip.
I couldn't agree with you more. I've been going since about 1986. It made the Bible in so many ways come alive, but I fell in love with the people, with the culture, with the nation. I took my children and my grandchildren right before the horrific October 7th attack. And we embedded ourselves, a good friend was having a bar mitzvah. We embedded ourselves within the Orthodox community and had Shabbat together and ate together and fellowship together, studied the Torah together, went all over Israel. And it was one of the most memorable, best times that we have had as a family. And so we are so grateful. I encourage Christians all over the world, you must make your journey to Israel.
Listen to Paula.
I say it will be the best.
We will welcome you.
Like
in Jerusalem and Nazareth and the Sea of Galilee and all the places that you hear about, they're not somewhere remote.
Okay, that's enough. Let me tell you what he's doing here. And this is exactly what rich Republicans that aren't even that religious do to evangelicals. They use them. They use their blind obedience to their faith for their own benefit. And Benjamin Netanyahu knows that evangelicals, the state of Jerusalem, is super important to them. And here's why. Because evangelicals believe that in order for the rapture to happen, the Jews have to be in Israel. And then when they're all positioned there, they're like, places everyone. Jesus comes down and sends all the Jews to burn in hell for all eternity. And that's why they're doing this bullshit right here, because Netanyahu understands that a lot of Americans, including Jewish Americans, see his war crimes as abhorrent. And we have enough critical thinking to separate our love for Jewish people against his psychotic war criminal government. And that we also have a complete heartache for the Palestinian people and the murder of so many innocent civilians. So he's trying to shore up his evangelical base in the United States of America, which is a play out of Donald Trump's playbook. These people have been brainwashed into thinking that they cannot critically think, that critical thinking is a sin. Their ministers are grifters that rip them off from the day they're born until the day they die. Trump's jumped in on that, and now Netanyahu is jumping in on that. And it's just absolutely disgraceful. And I just always like to keep my eye on evangelical fuckery because, in my opinion, living in the Bible Belt, it's at the core of what helped birth Trumpism, and it is a cancer in this country. And so we need to keep our eyes on all of this. We need to form our own communities. We need to fight like hell. Please subscribe to our channel, like this post, engage. We're trying to get to 1 million, and we'll see you all later.